Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of Sam from the famous Trick or Treat stories or from the series. And as you know that Sam is one of the mysterious characters, about the size of a kid, but with a lot of tricks in him. So we'll draw a circle, or an oval will do, but as closer to a circle would be better because his head is rounder than it is straighter. So one line going down like that, another line like that, another line like that, oval, tiny oval right there, and there's his one hand, the other hand, so if you have that down, we can sketch out the rest of Sam. Now the idea is that he has this sack over the head. Now you could maintain this with the pencil for sake of getting this through better on the screen. I'm going to use a marker, so I'm going along those lines first. Now he has what you call I'm just going to go first across for the mouth. So he has eyes, and I would recommend that you should leave a little bit of white in there. Those are not necessarily the whites of his eyes, but they're just there for some effect. And then there's all this stitching that he has. Now there's different manners to show it. I have just gone randomly put in some quick inks. Now you could go and put in a lot of details and go right across. Not necessarily a smile, but you could make it a little bit curved at the end just to get that little bit of sadistic in there. And then there's the rags, and when that happens, just like a scarecrow, you put in those two ties. So we're going to put in some rags like that, even show them folding over like that, and then some loose clothing coming down. That's one arm. And I've just done that, and I'm going to go with some loose clothing again, put in one leg right there, and I'm going to put in the other foot right there, and put a fabric like that because the feet don't jut out too much when it comes to Sam. And again, some folds there in the clothing, and here I'm going to give him so thumb around there, and he's holding that ever popular partly eaten lollipop that is actually, I think it is in the shape of a jack-o'-lantern, and some of the fingers showing right there. So that is just a simple design that you can work on, but Of course, now how much light you wish to give this is up to you, and I'm going to go in and just imagine a light source coming down from there. So I'm going to illuminate everything that is toward the light and try to put in some shadows away from it. So I would recommend like sketching out the folds beforehand so that you have an easier time going with the inks if you are inking this or putting in pencils. So shadow falling right over most of this, because if I have chosen to go with that light source, yes, it will be not as in the light against it. So there, where I stop there, then I come into the other arm and drop in some quick inks around the fabric folds and whatnot. So okay, so now the head, again, it's how we want to depict it and how much we want to go. It's all actually grainy. So what I'm going to do is, we'll put in, since it's a round structure essentially, I'm going to put in some shade right there. Around like that a little bit, and then I'm going to use the, okay, so you're going, so now we can do one of two things. Either you could Google some images and check how the texture of this guy is like shown in different media, or we can go in around here and add our own little bit of texturing. So essentially, if you want to have light fun, you can just put in some cross hatching. So I'm working from the inside out. And as you see that that's appearing like a more fun looking thing already. So then go along here, add some crosshatch randomly, but not too heavy, and it would especially be very nice to add some crosshatch around this sewn mouth. And again, the point is like across that bit tilted again, so randomly flowing crosshatch and not necessarily going for longer lines or along a longer length. So as you see, that looks a little more threatening, because that is the whole point. And then keep this crosshatch going. Now after all, this is a sack on its head and doesn't have a coherent shape, but what it does have is the crosshatch going on this side first off, because it is in shadow, and we'll put in, for the sake of the cylindrical shape, put in some longer lines right there just to fill out the details there. Bring that up a little bit. Moving on under that eye. Now the sack that he has over his head is actually jute. It's like a jute sack. So those are like little segments which are crossing like that. Now you could choose to put some of that in random spots. And again, this is working with a pencil. a pen. I know that it will also work with a pencil, perhaps even better, because you have the advantage of smudging a little bit in there. So as you saw, that the remainder of the body, which is all like a one-piece material that he's wearing, is not as textured as the jute sack head. So if you keep going like that and just fade out toward one end, I think it should be fairly acceptable, in the sense that, again, this is a quick sketch and not necessarily a refined and overtly detailed work of art. So if you just have that much action going, I think that you will have nailed Sam pretty much to an acceptable degree. And of course, you could add in some crosshatch here if you wish, just some small lines, but necessarily ones that are flowing along the readily put in inks, and they're flowing around along the fabric. So you see, I'm just quickly going through that as well. Now of course, you can make this as detailed as you wish. You can go and put in fabric details, because this fabric that he's wearing is supposed to be somewhat like that of a baby's. Sam is actually a demon, by the way. I do not know if he is a demon baby, but a demon. So there we have it. Quick sketch of Sam from Trick or Treat. If you haven't checked it out, you should. Very, very Halloween fitting feature. And thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, keep in touch. Have yourself a wonderful day.